Welcome to Talking WoW, the podcast where we talk about World of Warcraft. Believe it or not, my name is Tom, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about some tips, some tricks, and some secrets of World of Warcraft. And to do that, I am joined by my co-host, Marty. Hey, Marty, what are you doing over there?
Hello. Did you know that if you talk slowly, then we don't have to record as much content? That's a tip.
We're not giving tips about podcasting, Marty, and I'm not sure if people would want to listen to you talking like that for the entire episode.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll talk at my normal speed then.
So yes, we're going to be sharing a few tips, tricks, and secrets of World of Warcraft. And, you know, Marty, there's so many of them, isn't there? After almost 20 years of the game, there's still things in here that sometimes you find out and you're like, oh my goodness, I did not know that existed, or I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, there definitely are a few things here and there that you can easily miss out on because this game is huge. There's a lot of stuff going on. So it's understandable if you can't keep up with absolutely 100% and everything.
So we're going to share a couple of our own before we pass it over to the community to save this episode. But one of the things I shared very recently on social media, and I think it blew a few people's minds actually, was the fact that, and you know, it's not really a big deal, but you know, Marty, you get to that point in your playtime where you finished a dungeon or you finished a quest and you need to Hearthstone back to town or the city, and you know, you probably never thought about it, Marty, but you could sit down and Hearthstone. You know, you can just take a load off those heavy legs, you can sit down, and then you could Hearthstone. I don't know why you'd want to really do that, but hey, you can.
I mean, with those big shoulder pads that your warrior's running around with, you know, it's get heavy. Sometimes you just need to sit down and relax while you're Hearthstoning. So yeah, it's a thing. You can do it. And also, I don't know if you know that, but you can also do the same while fishing.
I do know that as well. Yes, you can
cool.
Take a load off while fishing, because who wants to stand around all day, Marty? You know, your character, like you say, deserves a bit of a rest.
100%. I also have a little thing that it's been in the game for a while, so maybe some people might know this, but maybe some people have forgotten, because if you're grinding rep, and there's a specific rep, for instance, that I'm after with the low omnifin, where I don't find it, some of those world quests down in the cave is a little bit tedious. There's not too many of them either. So during a week, if you want to get a little bit of extra rep, and you can do that with all the reps in the Dragon Isle, you can actually get yourself a contract that you can buy off the auction house. Or if you're an inscriptionist, then you can do it yourself. So you can make contracts that works for a week, and what it does is that you get, when you do a world quest out in the world, you gain a little bit of extra rep for your selected contract. So for you rep grinders out there, don't miss out on this, because I 100% forgot that this even existed.
When did this even come into the game? Because I feel like it was not really announced or anything like that. Did it come in during Shadowlands or something?
No, it's earlier. I want to say Legion, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's definitely been a thing for the inscription profession for quite a while, at least a few expansions. So it's not new, but yeah, it's been there for a while.
Yeah, I only discovered this like when the Emerald Dream patch came out in Dragonflight, and that was nice just to get a few more, you know, Dream Warden reputation as well. So it seems to be like as soon as that main reputation is available in game, it seems to be inscriptionists can make contracts for it. And maybe at the start of a patch, those contracts are a little bit more expensive, but if you're coming to the game a little bit later, those contracts are really cheap. You can just stick a load of them in your bag and yeah, free rep.
Who doesn't like some free rep? And just to quickly finish off the rep as well, I just recently discovered that I still need to do some Swordormi rep, the Time Rift rep, And apparently, if you do the normal dungeons or the heroic dungeons, you still get rep from the bosses, which is a significant amount. So you could, and you can, I think normal you could probably solo these days, or bring a friend at least, and you can do them fairly easily. So yeah.
Or a follower dungeon.
I actually haven't tested it out with follower dungeon, so I don't know how rep works in there, but maybe it's worth checking out. But at least normal, you should be able to get a decent amount of rep there. So if you're into farming stuff, then yeah, you can do that over there. I also have another small little thing that is it's probably not a tip. It's more like a thing that is happening in the world that I didn't know about until very recently, because I started looking at achievements and things like that. Yeah, and there's a small achievement which where you need to do a very specific thing. So I don't know about you, Tom, but well, I actually do know, but I'll pretend. I don't know about you, Tom, but there were these daily quests that you could do on our planes with at these camps to gain some extra rep and things like that. You did you know about that? Have you done any of those daily quests?
Oh yeah, yes.
Mm-hmm. So apparently, that camp moves around. It's in 3 different locations on the map. So you get I don't even know if the dailies are different, but at least the camp moves around. It's in different places. But that camp actually has, when it moves at the time when it stops being in one location and moves to another location, it actually triggers a small world event where the camp actually packs up. It moves along the road, and you walk with it, and you need to protect it because it's being attacked. And you actually get some a reward from it as well, a rep reward for helping the camp. And I think this happens like every 3 days or something like that, I want to say. And if you do all 3 of these, then you get an achievement for it if you do all these 3 events. So it's just a small world building thing going on in the world, but we are towards the end of the expansion, and I only recently discovered that this is actually a thing. So if you haven't looked into it yet, maybe it's worth a go. It's pretty good fun.
I love that, because it's a bit of a reflection on how we entered the Inara Plains, wasn't it? Because we sort of, met the centaurs, and we walked with them, and heard tales and stories. So it's kind of cool that that's still been sort of put back in there as they move their camp around the zone. So yeah, a few tips there from ourselves, rolling about in the head. But we asked, Marty, didn't we? We like to do this recently. We asked the community for some of their tips, tricks, and secrets in the World of Warcraft, and we got a bit of a mixed bag, and we're just going to share a few of those right now.
Let's do it. Sounds like fun.
So to start off, our good friend of the show, Sean from Recruit a Friend, gave us this real tasty bit, because we just mentioned follower dungeons there, Marty, as well. But Sean says, Moretti, the mage in the follower dungeon, drops a table as soon as you zone in. If you're a healer, you can queue instantly, pop in, get 4 stacks, and leave the instance. This way, you always have mage food and never have to buy water again.
That is a really good tip, especially for those types who likes to heal. Points at myself, for those of you who cannot see me, and that's all of you. So,
and also just making mages a bit more redundant. You don't even have to ask mages anymore for water, because there's this NPC that can give you that water. And well, I guess we still need them for portals, so they can stick around.
Here's a little thing that I sure didn't know. I don't know if it's a tip or what it is, but it is Pharaoh did nothing wrong, who said, when exiting a queued instance, you will always be facing north when you finish loading out.
Wow, I'm going to have to get my compass out and check that one.
Yeah, me too. I was like, is that true? I will have to test this.
Here's a little 2-for-1 for you, Marty, because Rambog TV says Discord channels offer so much more than Group Finder. Just go out and find some public Discord groups. And just to combine that, Warcraft Thor says if you're a nice person, you will have a better time. And this feels like a great time for me to say, Marty, have you heard of the Dungeon Dojo Discord? Because that is a great place for you to go do Mythic Plus, raids, fun events, all in an inclusive and safe environment. What a great place to drop that little promo for the Dungeon Dojo there.
100%, yeah. I can totally recommend both these tips. Be nice, and there are loads of Discord channels out there. The Dungeon Dojo being one of them, if you want to.
How come you're never nice to me, though?
I mean, I don't know. Let's move on. Nick also has a tip. Completing the pet battle dungeons rewards portals to old world zones, some of which are remote. The portals are accessed from Legion Dalaran / Boralis. Pet battle dungeons are Whirling Caverns, The Dead Mines, Nomergan, Stratholme, and Blackrock Depths. And I did not know this. I have for a long time had these pet battle dungeons on my to-do list, but because pet battles are very low on my priority list, I haven't really gotten around to do any of them yet. So I guess I need to bump that priority now.
Yeah, I was literally about to ask you, have you ever done a pet battle dungeon? And they're hard, Marty. Honestly, they are not easy. You need a pretty big roster of pets going in there to get through that. And yeah, they're a good challenge, especially for pet battle lovers. And I mean, who wouldn't want to be able to portal to the Dead Mines at any time they wanted?
I mean, I do. I still need transmogs from there.
Up next, we have Pivotal, who says the Bengal Tiger Cave secret location, which I didn't even know about, at the edge of Strangleform Vale, is actually just a cutout from the Ogre Caves in Felorus, as you can see here from the screenshots provided by Pivotal. And, well, you do see that in Warcraft, don't you, Marty? You know, the old rehash, the old copy and paste. You know, you can't have everything completely unique. And sometimes just, you know, it's just copy and pasting, right? Just a bit of a...
Yeah, they went to Google, you know, Googled, I need a better cave. They found an old one, copy pasted it.
That's how it works, right?
Yep. Next up, we have Demidanoth, who says, there are pet shops in Boralis where you can go and pet the doggos and kitties.
Aww. We all need a bit more of that, don't we? Just go out, pet a dog, pet a cat, and, you know, forget about your eye level. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Up next, we have Fenaria, who says it's faster to take the Nomergan portal to get to Badlands as Horde than to run to Hammerfall. Classic. No, we don't really care about Horde, so let's move on, Marty.
Whoa. This is a good tip for me.
This is a great tip. This is a great tip.
This is a great tip for me who just recently started playing a little bit more on the Horde side, and I am struggling with finding my way around Azeroth all of a sudden because I'm just used to everything being in a neat place in Stormwind, and Orgrimmar is just a mess. There, I said it.
And finally, Marty is going to share a very, very important tip, probably the most important tip. Might not actually be a tip, might just be fabrication, but go ahead, Marty.
Dreadlord Acid says, jumping constantly is a surefire way to increase DPS over any class. And this tip is 100% true, fact, tested. It's true.
Little asterisk beside what Marty just said there, might not be true. But thank you very much, Dreadlord Acid, for that tip, because, hey, we've all done it, right? You're in a dungeon, you're out doing quests, you're jumping. I heard it increases critical strike chance.
Yeah, as an evoker, we jump constantly to increase our damage and move faster. So
maybe there is some truth in it after all. That's what we had for you today. Some of our own tips, some great little nuggets there from our community. And we would love to actually make another episode like this because it's really fun just to hear people sharing these things, because some of them you just don't know, and after 20 years, like we're saying, it's really cool to hear these things. So if you do have your own tips that you'd like to share, if you've heard this episode and you were screaming at it going, I can't believe they haven't talked about that chicken quest in Westfall in Classic, then why not let us know on social media at Talking WoW, or we're on YouTube here, so drop us a comment on this video and share your tips, and maybe we'll make another episode in the future where we'll talk about that. I've been Tom.
I've been Marty.
And we've
been Talking WoW.
Thanks for tuning in, champion. Did you enjoy this episode of Talking WoW? If so, why not drop a review on your podcast catcher of choice, or leave us a comment? you can find Talking WoW on Twitter or YouTube over at Talking WoW. Hope to see you again soon!